Greetings, friend of distant roads, and listen to the whispers of a world that was. In the first days, when all was yet unbroken, and wonder walked beneath the stars, magic breathed in every stone and stream, and legends were born as swiftly as a dawn. Though the ages have since dimmed their light, the memory lingers in the hearts of a few. From their stories, this tale is woven. Now, prepare thy spirit, and embark upon an epic adventure, where glory and sorrow entwine, and the echoes of ancient deeds yet stir the very bones of the earth. Ainulindalë, the single, omniscient, omnipotent, and omnibenevolent creator. He has been existing eternally in the timeless halls, and possesses the flame imperishable in his spirit, which kindles existence from nothingness. He conceived the Ainul from his thought, and taught each of them how to make music. Their voices, like the sound of harps and trumpets and choirs, passed beyond hearing into the depths and heights of sound. The great music filled the timeless halls and passed beyond them, even into the void, so that it was not void. The Ainul's flawless music satisfied even Ilúvatar during this early stage. Faults entered into the great theme as a result of the discords of Melkor, and Ainul whose thoughts had become strange and unlike those of his brethren due to his wanderings in the void. These discords of Melkor that became evident in his music dismayed those around him, and many faltered in their singing or else attuned their song to his. The original harmony of the music was thus consumed by a sea of turbulent sound, until it became like a raging storm. At that point, Ero responded by rising from his seat and raising his left hand. It seemed to the Ainul that he then smiled. After his reaction to the music, a new theme began amid the chaos. Unlike the first, it gathered new power and beauty. However, Melkor's discord rose up against it, and there was a war of sound more violent than before. This time, Melkor's theme triumphed over that of the others, and many of the Ainul stopped singing entirely out of dismay. Ilúvatar then rose from his seat again. His expression was stern this time. He raised his right hand, and yet another thing unfolded. power and depth over time until two completely different souls were being made. One of immeasurable sorrow, which gave it tremendous beauty, and the other a loud, pompous theme, plain and violent opposition to it. Two things cause the dwelling of Ilúvatar and even the forum beyond it to shake. At this point, Aim stood once more, raised both his arms, and in one chord, deeper than the abyss, higher than the firmament, the music ceased. Ilúvatar then spoke to the Ainur about the music and the consequences that would arise from any attempts to bring discord into it as Melkor had done. To show them the results of their actions, he led them into the void and said,
"Behold your music."
So proud, in the middle earth they stand, building the wave so loud, songs from ancient chants, Valar shape the world we see, under Eru's decree, Kelvar Rom and overgrow, in Arda's perfect harmony.
I know what's from sky so high, covered from above, stars that light the midnight sky, shining bright with endless love.
Valar shape the world we see, under Eru's decree, Kelvar Rom and overgrow, Arda's perfect harmony.
Through the whispers of the trees and the songs of ancient seas, stars above in twilight sky, guide our souls and hearts so high. Mountains tall and rivers deep, secrets they do keep. In every shadow and every light, a tale of ancient might.
Valar shape the world we see, under Eru's decree, Kelvar Rom and overgrow, Arda's perfect harmony. Valar shape the world we see, under Eru's decree, Kelvar Rom and overgrow, Arda's perfect harmony.
vision of what their song had created, a world that was globed amid the void, but was not of it. They saw the history of this world as it unfolded, and witnessed the part each had played in its making. Even the discords of Melkor contributed to the glory of this creation. Iluvatar suddenly took away the vision, and the Ainur did not get to see how it would end. The abrupt ending of the vision caused restlessness among the Ainur, and Iluvatar perceived that they wanted the vision to be given true being, so that even despite the terrible flaws that had been introduced into it, the universe would be as real as they themselves were. Therefore, Eru sent the flame imperishable into the universe, and far off in the void, a light appeared as he said,
Ea, let these things be.
Elves awoke beside the lake, the stars above they celebrate. Flowing waters and so clear, touched their hearts and held it dear. Castle tuned the dwarven bright, misty mountains standing high. Prospered on throughout the years, leave the battle of hunger tears. Old tales whisper on, legends never gone. Through the shadow and the sun, our voyage just begun. Men awoke with the first sun, Hildori's might had just begun. Then darkness fell on many hearts, the pain and fear tore them apart. Old tales whisper on, legends never gone. Through the shadow and the sun, our voyage just begun.
Three distinct races they became, each one with a different name. Journeyed far through land and sea, in their hearts the longing free.
greatest of the Ainur, fell from glory when he disrupted the great music and defied the will of Eru. He wanted Arda all for himself, so his envy grew then, the greater within him. He also took visible form, but because of his mood and the malice that burned in him, that form was dark and terrible. And he descended upon Arda in power and majesty greater than any other of the Valar, as a mountain that wades in the sea and has its head above the clouds, and is clad in ice and crowned with smoke and fire. And the light of the eyes of Melkor was like a flame
that withers with heat and pierces with a deadly cold.
After countless wars and the irreparable damage he inflicted upon Arda, his brother Manwë, the king of the Valar, managed to capture him and thrust him through the door of night, beyond the walls of the world, into the timeless void.
Darkness fell and his heart so cold. From the void his shadow bold. Stars did tremble, skies did crack. Underneath his ruthless track. Fire raged in pits of the night. Force of chaos, endless fight. Monsters born from pain and fear. Silent whispers drawing clear.
When you awoke, the elves were made of stone and glass. Dragons morphed and burnt forth. Breath of fire, every sword.
All but still and cold and warm. Deep beneath were shadows glow. Mighty feel and rise and fall. In the end you lose it all. Clashing swords and kingdoms torn. Days of light forevermore. Oaths were broken, blood was spilled. Dreams and hopes forever dead. All but still and cold and low. Deep beneath where shadows glow. Mighty feel and rise and fall. In the end you lose it all.
Then the light of Gollum rose up to the roots of the trees. Melkor sprung up on the mound, and with his blood spear he smote it straight in its core, and their sap poured forth as it were their blood, so they died.
Trees fall and earth does quake. Heart of stone will surely break. In the void you'll find his end. Nightmare cannot ever end. All but still and cold and warm. Deep beneath where shadows glow. Mighty feel and rise and fall. In the end you lose it all. But still and cold and warm. Deep beneath where shadows glow. Mighty feel and rise and fall. In the end you lose it all.
After the execution and subsequent expulsion of Morgoth from Ea into the void, the noble men of the First Age came at last over leagues of sea to the land that was prepared for them. Andor, the land of gift, a country fair and fruitful, shimmering in a golden haze, and they were glad. During the Second Age, Melkor's lieutenant, the Dark Lord Sauron, persuaded the elven smiths of Eregion to forge the Rings of Power. These rings would grant the ones who wear them certain powers beyond their nature. Secretly, Sauron returned to Mount Doom. and forged the one ring in its fires. It was made as the master ring, which would control all the others, and thereby dominate their bearers.
One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them.
After the forging of the One Ring, Sauron waged war at the elves until he was defeated and fled to Mordor. Eons passed, and rumors about the return of the Dark Lord drove elves and men to form the last alliance in order to stop him. They crossed the Misty Mountains and marched south through the Vale of Anduin, where they were joined by the Sylvan Elves led by Morgoth. Sylvan Elves had little sympathy for the Centaur led by Gil-galad, the High King of Mordor, thus were indisposed to take orders from him. Defying Gil-galad's command, they rashly charged against the numerous hosts of Morgoth before the king had given the order. Morgoth and his troops were cut off and driven into the marshes, where they were slain.
In the land of shadows deep, where the dark and light will meet, Sauron rises power raw. Elves prepare with silent awe. Ancient woods with whispers low. Heaven stars with courage glow. Later drawn like pictures of night, the crisper battles bright. Sauron struck, but we stand firm. In our hearts the fire burns. Hells unite, we won't retreat. In the end we'll never meet.
In the fields where battles scar, at the plain of Dagorlad, Morgoth and troops were slain. In the marshes they remain.
Darkness seeps, but we endure. With our swords and hearts so pure. Side by side, as we stand, guardians of the elven land.
Sauron strong, but we stand firm. In our hearts the fire burns. Elves unite, we won't retreat. In the end we'll never meet.
Sauron strong, but we stand firm. In our hearts the fire burns. Elves and men, we won't retreat. In the end we'll never
In the fields where battles scar,
hope bright like evening star. Hear the songs in echoes clear. Filling hearts and fighting fear. Darkness sins, but we endure. With our swords and hearts so pure. Side by side in lines we stand. Guardians of the elven land. Sauron strong, but we stand firm. In our hearts the fire burns. Hells unite, we won't retreat. In the end we'll never meet. Sauron strong, but we stand firm. In our hearts the fire burns. Hells unite, we won't retreat. In the end we'll never
The last alliance eventually gained the upper hand and pushed the enemy hordes back towards the Black Gate. The siege of Barad-dûr lasted 7 long years and cost the lives of countless elves and men. Finally, Elendil and Gil-galad managed to throw down Sauron, though both were slain in the process, and Elendil's sword Narsil broke under him as he fell. Isildur took the hilt shard of his father's sword and managed to cut the One Ring from Sauron's finger. Ignoring the advice of Elrond and Círdan, lieutenant of Gil-galad, Isildur did not destroy the One Ring. Instead, he claimed it as a way-guilt for the deaths of his father and brother Anarion. A couple of years later, during the disaster of the Gladden Fields, the One Ring slipped from Isildur's finger while he swam in the river trying to escape from a band of orcs, leading to his demise.
In shadowed lands we made our stand against the Dark Lord's cruel command. With swords in hand and hearts above, the tales of our deeds shall be told. Elendil burst in the fight, Anarion lost against the night. Gil-galad's flame did also fight, as evil rose from the dark side. On fields of battle, blood did flow. We faced the evil ancient foe. With Charon's right, we fought the rise. For freedom we would bear the fight. Battlefields are soaked with pain. Elves and men won't die in vain. Hordes of wars will meet their day. As darkness falls on Middle-earth, Isildur's sword in sunlight gleamed. He carved a path to end the dream of darkness that would claim the land with strength of heart and steadiness. Thus we reached the gate, where Sauron's power did await. With every strike we pushed him back, and yielding all our faithful Isildur strikes his sword above, fingers fell from Sauron's glove. The power held within his grasp had changed his destiny in a gasp. As evil lurks hiding in gold, stories of heroes will be told. Legends from fire will be born, from vanity he will be torn. Isildur's sword in sunlight gleamed. He carved a path to end the dream of darkness that would claim the land with strength of heart and steady hand. He stood alone with fading breath to challenge vile and bring its death. Isildur shining with his blade, the darkness rule began to fade. The One Ring fell from shadow's grasp, but victory in the final blast. Through battles now named heroes past, our legacies are meant to
After Isildur's demise, the One Ring remained hidden in the riverbed for over 2 millennia, despite Saruman's attempts to locate it, until it was discovered by a stool named Deagle. The ring's evil powers acted upon Deagle's friend, Smeagol, who murdered him and took the ring for himself. Over many ages, Smeagol was changed by the ring's influence into the creature called Gollum. It manipulated him into settling in the misty mountains near Mirkwood, where Sauron was beginning to resurface. But Gollum was too small and never left his deep pool, so the ring stayed with him for centuries, waiting for the right time to leave him and be found by a hobbit named Bilbo Baggins as the Third Age begins.
She could sleep. Isildur's pain still yet to creep. The precious gift revealed the deagle. But there's no blame, his best friend's Smeagol. It hides in shadows deep within. A whisper calling sweet unseen. Smeagol's hunger out so cold. Friendship shattered for the gold. Because the ladder river sets as Gollum rises from the lead. A precious whisper, secret sweet, promises power none could beat. But in the dark the shadows lie, a treacherous path where friendships die. Saruman's grasp in vain did seek. It really makes all men so weak. Hidden whispers guide the way. In the dark they choose to stay. Echoes in a hollow scream. We're hunting eyes forever gleam. The precious whisper, secret sweet, promises power none could beat. But in the dark the shadows lie, a treacherous path where friendships die. Centuries in shadows cold, clutching tight to silk and gold, cursed and bound in endless gloom, waiting for its fate to bloom. Waters rippled silent sigh, the ring prepared to bid goodbye. Time had come to leave its lair, falls from his pocket while unaware.
Stars and Gollum's sky, guides the ring and bend its way. The creature has to play a game. What kind of reasons if you don't die?
Just a minute. Wind. It's wind. Of course it is. Wind.
The precious whisper, secret sweet, promises power none could beat. But in the dark the shadows lie, a treacherous path where friendships die.
This thing of Inximaurus bursts, beast, trees, flowers, notes, iron, mine, steel, grinds, hard stone to meal. Slash king twins down, and beats mountain down.
Give us the answer, give us the answer.
Give us some time, give us some time.
the Third Age progressed, the Valar sent 5 Maya to assist the peoples of Middle-earth against the gathering forces of Sauron. They study, those who know, in Quenya. This was the title assigned to them when they descended into Ea and formed the Order of Wizards. Among men, it was initially assumed that they were also men who, by long and secret study, had acquired great knowledge of lore and arts. But as years passed, it was marked that they did not die and were led to believe that they were of elven kind. However, none except Lord Elrond, Lord Círdan, and Lady Galadriel knew that, in actuality, the wizards were vassals of the Valar. Dear friend of distant roads, the tale is told. The whisper still carried in the hearts of the few who remember, now entrusted to you. For the struggle of good and evil endures beyond reckoning, and with each age that rises and falls, new threads are woven into the vast tapestry of time. Remember this tale and cherish it. Pass it on when the darkness gathers, and add to it your own, for the memory must be kept alive till time itself grows old and forgets it ever existed.